Debbie Wasserman Shultz, the disgraced former chair of the DNC, was recently on MSNBC and was responding to Bernie Sanders' criticism of the Democratic Party. I want to first show you the criticism, what Bernie Sanders had said, and then I want to show her reaction to it.
Clearly, the Democratic Party needs a top-down overhaul, and that top-down overhaul means that instead of becoming dependent and being dependent on big money interests for campaign contributions, it has got to become a grassroots party. It has got to start speaking and acting and fighting for working people, for young people. Perez has got to capitalize that, and that's the kind of party I think the Democrats have to create.
You got to be more grassroots, right? You don't have to be beholden to the corporate interests. So there's Bernie Sanders. Now, of course, Debbie Wasserman Shultz is going to be on Greta Van Sustren's MSNBC show. I'm not used to saying that because Greta Van Sustren, we know her from Fox News, kind of a right-winger. What she's doing on MSNBC, I have no idea. But so anyway, she's going to be talking to Debbie Wasserman Shultz, and she's going to ask her what she thought about Bernie Sanders' criticism of the Democrats no longer being a grassroots party. Let's take a look at that.
Well, you know, respectfully to Senator Sanders, we are already a grassroots party. I mean, if we were not, we would not have been able to help bring down the absolutely abhorrent healthcare repeal bill that would have knocked 24 million people over 10 years off of their health care, that would have increased costs economically for people who were between 50 and 64 years old, increased prescription drug prices.
So he's wrong.
And so, no, it's actually more like semantics. We all agree that we should be and we are a grassroots party.
Oh, no, he's not wrong. He's just, it's just semantics, but because we are a grassroots party. Really, are you now? Now, this is a person, by the way, or says the person who helped Hillary Clinton outspend Donald Trump and the Republicans in this last election 2-1. They outspent Donald Trump and lost. Says the person who, when she was chair of the DNC, reversed the Obama-era rule that said that lobbyists cannot lobby the DNC. So, no, he cut out corporate money from the DNC. She reversed that decision as soon as they won the primaries. Like, all right, let's get that. Hey, big donors, big corporations, the Democratic National Committee, we're open for business. She's the one saying grassroots party. No. Hypocrisy be thy name. I mean, look, we all agree that we should be, and we are. By the way, we are a grassroots party. But we should be, but we are. Well, that's a weird way to phrase it, isn't it? I mean, look, but on the substance, of course, Debbie seems to have a little bit of a different view of what it means to be a grassroots party. Now, for example, Bernie Sanders, he ran a grassroots campaign. This was a real grassroots campaign. He didn't take any super PAC money, and a majority of his donations were from small donors. About 70% of the money Bernie Sanders brought in this campaign was from small donors, people like you, people giving $27 at a time. You cannot say the same for Hillary Clinton or the DNC. And as far as being grassroots, well, if you're taking all your money from corporations, you cannot be grassroots. How much? How much? It's estimated that about 19% of Hillary Clinton's donors were small donors. 19%. Look, the rest were either millionaires, billionaires, or super PACs, PACs, billionaires, multinational corporations. Those are not human beings. Oh, I mean, yes, the billionaires are, of course, are. But the corporations and the PACs, they are not human beings. That does not, you're not a grassroots candidate when almost 80% of your money comes from billionaires, millionaires, super PACs, and corporations. That is not grassroots. Look, Bernie Sanders, again, 70% of his donations were small donors. And he outraised, in certain months, Hillary Clinton. That is unprecedented. He has shown us that you can fund a nearly successful campaign, or a very successful campaign, I should say, considering. I mean, look, he made up a 60-point lead on top of the most well-known, most well-financed candidate the Democrats have ever fielded. And he did it from you guys. Small donors. $27 at a time. Unprecedented. See, he ran on the idea that, hey, maybe we should, instead of representing the corporations, we should represent the people. I'm not going to take any super PAC money. To be fair, for a while, Donald Trump said the same thing. He ran on that as well. Now, he was, of course, full of shit. As soon as the primary ended, Donald Trump started taking super PAC money. So, again, full of shit. But the whole point is, when it came to Hillary Clinton, for example, people didn't like it when you don't represent when you don't represent them. When you instead represent the donors. Now, ironically, that whole issue of trying to appeal to, hey, no, we're the little guy. We don't represent the banks. No, in fact, we're running against the banks. Good example of that is Dave Brat. And Dave Brat's a Republican, right-winger, very, very conservative. He ended up being Eric Cantor in a primary. Why? Because he ran against the banks. He was, again, full of shit. But at least Republicans have seemed to have figured out, like, oh, right, hey, if we run against the banks and multinational corporations, they can vote for us. Or they will vote for us. And then all we have to do is just turn around and work for the multinational corporations and the banks. Oh, it's a great idea. We actually appeal to them with, I don't know, populism. And appeal against the corporations that are crushing them. Who knew? Who knew that actually worked? Who knew people were kind of mad at business right now? The Democrats don't seem to understand that. See, by running against the big money interests, the special interests, by actually appealing to the grassroots, that's how Republicans have been able to win. It's amazing, I know. Are the Democrats out there doing this? No. No, what they've done is that they double down on corporations, and then instead of addressing their own failures, they have focused solely on blaming Russia for the loss of the election. That is not the right way to go. Look, you can talk about, hey, did Russia meddle in the election? Did they do propaganda? There seems to be a lot of proof that, yes, they did. But at the same time, did that lose the election? Did they actually hack into our voting systems? No, there's no evidence of that. And besides, there's no evidence that anything the Russians did had a huge impact on the electorate. And what it was is that Hillary Clinton, terrible candidate, she didn't go to places like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. She didn't campaign where it counts. She won more of the popular vote, but she didn't win in places where it actually mattered. In our electoral system, she did not get those electoral votes. But anyway, the whole point is what the Democrats have lost is the trust of the American people. And what they also lost is the right to call themselves grassroots when they did everything in their power to crush the grassroots. So no, I will disrespectfully disagree with Miss Wasserman Shultz. Now, one more thing. What she said, this was so disingenuous of her and the corporate Democrats to try to take credit for the epic failure of the Trump Care bill. Debbie Wasserman Shultz and the Democrats didn't destroy Trump Care. No, the grassroots, ironically, did destroy it. The real grassroots of the parties, Republican and Democratic voters who showed up at the town halls, yelled at their representatives, called their congressmen, wrote in, tweeted, all that stuff, made a ruckus, man. They went in there and they said, "Are you gonna dare to mess with my health care? No, you're not gonna mess with my health care. You mess with my health care, we're coming for you. And we're coming right to your town halls." There are videos of congressmen running from these town halls. So don't tell me it was the corporate Democrats that were that had caused the failure of Trump Care. No, it's mostly the grassroots, and also some of the, obviously, credit or blame, whichever you view it from, goes to the Freedom Caucus for being so super greedy that a $600 billion tax cut wasn't enough for them. But as far as most of the credit goes, I think it goes to the grassroots. They defeated this. The corporate Democrats did not. It's not like there was a vote. Corporate Democrats didn't really stage rallies to save healthcare. Do you know who actually did stage rallies? Bernie Sanders. And look, he brought along Nancy Pelosi. He brought along Chuck Schumer. Why? Because Bernie Sanders is too damn nice of a person sometimes. He's too nice for his own good, which makes him a much better person than me. And we need more people like him. We need less people like me, and certainly less people like Debbie Wasserman Shultz. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.